Hello, my name's Lisa, JJ Muti, Social Game Reviews, everybody, and I want to give my original Season 3, Episode 18, The Devil Comes Here and Signs. And here's the thing, this episode was really just about the Originals getting their asses whooped. Klaus, for some odd reason, decides to take on Lucian head-on with Opportunity's blade, which he should have stayed for later. But I find this episode a very bad written case of the Originals, just because at the beginning of this episode, Klaus demands, the time for talk is over. I'm going to fight Lucian. And he knows he's not going to be strong enough. So he takes Papatuti's blade. And Klaus can't hit Lucian for shit. And Elijah just lets him go and do it. Why? Another thing that what's happened, which is kind of really stupid, is how Haley and Cammy take so long to take out Aurora. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. What I loved about this episode was how powerless Klaus it felt against Lucian. Lucian was kicking his ass. He was kicking Elijah's ass. Here's the thing. Lucian freed Aurora last episode, and he gave Laura the blood vial, and now she will be one of him if she dies with that in her system. And while Lucian is going to go take out Elijah because Aurora made a deal with him, I will only accept your offer to be with you for eternity if you free my brother, whether by killing Elijah or by getting his coordinates. So Lucian demands Elijah tell him where the coordinates is, and it doesn't happen. Lucian is trapped by Freya by a magical spell, and the Strix come involved for backup to protect their sire, which is Elijah, which is smart. So now Lucian was trapped, but then the ancestors, who are the bunch of hypocritical witches of all time, decide to free Lucian from his prison, which Freya created. And Lucian breaks free, beats all the Strix up. Elijah has to flee with Freya, and again, this is another stalemate where Lucian is still unstoppable. Also, Aurora during this time has Klaus tied up. They're playing a little mind manipulation. Klaus is more vulnerable than ever. Haley and Cammy come to his rescue, and overall Klaus is freed, and Aurora is knocked unconscious, not killed. They drug her up so she could get knocked out. And I kind of find kind of bullshitness, because how much can what did they had in that syringe to knock out Aurora, who's a freaking ancient vampire? It's kind of interesting. I wonder what they mix with it, but overall it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen next episode of Originals. Another thing, Lucian finds out that drew a camera hidden in the room, which Klaus knew about, that Aurora doesn't care for Lucian, and he's just a means for an end, and now Lucian's pissed, and he decides to bite Cammy. So Cammy is bitten at the end of the episode, and it's going to probably see Klaus and Cammy reunite again for the love, just like how Haley and Elijah will reunite. And it's going to be interesting to see if Cammy will survive. Me, personally, I don't think Cammy should survive. To me, her coming back as a vampire kind of brought her character downhill, just because they didn't know what to do with her character. To me, it would have been much more symbolic if she would have died not turning into a vampire, just because it will prove that Klaus can't get happiness in this world. A woman that he loved, another one, dies as a victim, whether it's through his faults or somebody else's, and that would be more impactful. But right now, we're going to see how Cammy's going to survive, and if she survives and the writers do a good thing with her storyline, then I'll be okay with it. But if not, it's going to drag Hill. Another thing that we figure out is that the ancestors, again, the most hypocritical witches of all time, Vincent decides that he doesn't want a war with the Originals, and he doesn't want his coven or the witches in New Orleans to go against the Originals, because it will lead to another bloodbath. And he tries to talk to the ancestors, but the ancestors kick him out of his region, and they replace this Asian guy that was at the beginning of the Originals this early on, who was a hypocrite because he blames Davina for the murder of his mother, which the mother was basically hurting Davina any chance she could get. So it's very hypocritical, these witches, again. He's like, we're going to take over the city. The witches will take over New Orleans forever. I'm like, but you cursed Cole. They cursed Cole, and they left this one place called St. James, which has no magic whatsoever, and they break down a barrier, and if Cole was unleashed, he would have killed all those innocent people there. The ancestors don't care about human life just as much as vampires. Here's the thing. Vampires are evil. There's no doubt about it. They're more evil than the ancestors, than witches. But the witches are the most hypocritical ones of all vampires, of all the supernatural beings in the Vampire Diaries and the original TV show, just because they will let So many people die just to get their way. They're power hungry, just like vampires, except vampires are more honest about their nature of being evil and dark. Witches are the exact same fucking thing. They're controlling Cole. And here's the thing: when Cole decides to do the right thing by Davina and to leave her so he doesn't go into bloodbath, guess what happens? He can't leave New Orleans without desiccating. So the ancestors are such great freaking. The ancestors are so noble and witches are so inspiring that they're gonna let this bloodthirsty guy stay in New fucking Orleans? Are you fucking kidding me? How many blood baths will it cause for Cole Michelson? How many innocent people will get killed because of the ancestors and their stupidity? I am so ready for Vincent and Davina to take down the ancestors. I am so fucking ready. And overall, I'm enjoying this season. I really do. It's just this entire thing for the originals. There's has to be like certain, like for the originals and the vampires, they always have like this three, like in each beginning and the middle and end, they have like three different storylines. For instance, Vampire season 5 had the Silas storyline, the Augustine vampire storyline, along with Catherine dying, and it had with also the Traveler storyline. With the originals, it's been all about the season, the prophecy. And a lot of the season is kind of hit and miss just because there's a lot of every single episode should like go into like how season 2 was. You knew the dread of hope was real, either by Esther, by Finn, by Dahlia. It was constant throughout. But in the original season 3, this prophecy thing just really starting to kick in right now. It's slowly, but there's like so many episode originals this year. It's not very consistent in my opinion for the prophecy. It takes a long while, especially with the relationships with Cammy and Klaus, or with Haley and Jackson, or Haley with Elijah. And yeah, season 2 had that stuff, but it was consistent, but the story progressed at the same time as the relationships. This one, the relationships kind of dragged this hill down, kind of dragged this show down a little bit just to do so much screen time, and it doesn't evolve more into more storyline. And yeah, we got interesting new characters like Tristan, Aurora, and Lucian, but there hasn't been consistency as much as this season, as the previous original season, as previous Vampire season. So I'm enjoying this season of the originals. It's just not long. It's just not my favorite. I honestly think Vampire season 7 is better than originals so far. But then again, we still have at least 5 more episodes to go. So hopefully this will be very interesting. Cannot wait for the finale. And yeah, everyone, let me know what y'all think of the original season 3, episode 18. The Devil Comes Here and Signs. Yeah, everyone named Jalise signing off from you to everybody. Bye bye.